Is this a good idea to be doing at 11:30 p.m.? Not really, but I'm doing it for y'all, so. Hey guys, what's up? It's Leilah, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. The vibe is different tonight, as you can feel it in the air. Last week was my story time, but since it's October, I love Halloween, so we're gonna do a spooky Halloween, scary, animated scary story. We're gonna be watching animated stories from Wansee Entertainment. It's this YouTuber that makes animated scary stories, like I just said. But anyways, so we are gonna both react to this together. We're gonna go through the journey, and hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, let's start. So the first one, we're gonna watch 2, maybe like 1.5. We're gonna watch 4 true scary stories animated, and this was just uploaded 7 hours ago.
Last year, I had a classmate who didn't like to socialize. I was the only one who spoke to her. One day, she messaged me an article about cat abuse, knowing that
you always have to talk to that one person that don't be talking in class. You'll never know. And now I'm not saying nothing, but the people who know. Continuing.
I had a cat. I replied to her, saying, "Wow, that's literally insane." She then started pretending she was close to me and continued to send articles about cat abuse or pictures of dead, such as road-killed cats. Feeling uncomfortable, I slowly began to avoid her.
Right.
And one day, I suddenly felt like she took a picture of me.
I have to take her phone. What if she uploads it to, like, I don't know, someone to a hit on her? You don't know. You cannot. No, I can't.
While she left her seat, I decided to secretly check her cell phone.
Oh, she's
surprisingly, the phone was not locked, so I could easily enter her photo gallery. And then,
doing this and she in the same room? Girl.
What I saw was horribly shocking. There were over 80 photos of me that I didn't even know she took.
She's obsessed!
I got goosebumps when I saw the folder's name. It had my name. And there was one more folder, Cat, which contained pictures of dead bodies and the
She finna kill her. She finna murk her.
several articles that my friend had sent me.
That's it?
This story is about my friend's sister.
Okay.
The friend's family was living in a large apartment complex. One day, his sister went out, and this incident happened at that moment. Her ex-boyfriend, who was waiting for her, hit her on the head with a piece of sidewalk block and just killed her. The security...
Baby boy, if you obsessed, just say that. You don't have to kill her. No.
He ran towards them in surprise, but he ran away, went up to the roof of another apartment complex, and killed himself on the spot.
Ooh!
After that, there were 2 memorial altars set up for both the woman and the man. And ironically, they were located right next to each other. And meanwhile, the bereaved family...
Y'all got me messed up if you have my killer funeral next door. That's not going down like that. No.
The man insisted on this. They told my friend's family, "Let's join their souls in marriage." My friend's parents panicked, so they eventually fought with the bereaved family of the man, cursing at them.
Yeah.
They told me later that everyone in...
That's what I'm talking about. We are fighting. That's exactly what my family do. I want them to go to their family and start fighting. But then again, they didn't really do anything. But he did say that slick comment. I would have gave them the go to fight.
And the memorial altar went crazy that day. One of my teachers told us about a dream she had. She had a dream
Oh, no.
about the...
Okay. I really want to watch like a full story. So we're gonna start with this one. The thing I saw that night.
I'm an immigrant from Belarus. English is not my first language, so I apologize if I phrase things differently. Here's some backstory. I was only 11 when my family left the country after the collapse of the Soviet Union. My father was involved with the Communist Party and would frequently visit Moscow when I was a boy. I don't know all the details. I don't even know what exactly my father's role was in the USSR, but from what I understand, we were granted asylum in the United States and had to flee Belarus in 1991. But that's not really why I'm writing this story. This is about something I saw in my childhood that has scarred me for life. This took place roughly a year before we left, so I'm guessing the year was 1990. My family, like many others, lived in a massive apartment building in Minsk. There were two other identical apartment buildings adjacent to ours, and directly behind the buildings was a playground area where I would play with my friends Sasha and Victor. Beyond the playground was a section of trees that separated a shopping plaza from the apartment grounds. I remember that my mother was feeling ill and was bedridden, and my father was away on business in Moscow, so I was pretty much on my own that night. I remember that I had gotten bored watching TV in the living room and decided to go outside and see if any of my friends were at the playground. I would say this was around 8 p.m. and it was dark out. By then...
You trying to go play outside at 8 p.m.? My mom would not have that. I don't think any parent would have that. I mean, like, stay inside.
Most of the children were inside, and I don't even think anyone was allowed on the playground at that time.
Hello, that's what I just said.
But I didn't care. There was no one around to tell me to go back inside, and I was pretty excited to have...
He's asking to get snatched. At this point, I don't care. You want to be big and bold? Okay. That's why you saw that thing that you saw that night. I don't know what it was.
Myself. It was chilly out that night, but it was not snowing. So I figured that I would play on the slides and swing set until I either got bored or if security came along and told me to go back inside. So there I was, just swinging in the dark, when I heard something near the fence that separated the trees from the playground. There was a strange noise, like someone was sawing wood, but there was something just off about it. I ignored the sound, but it became louder as time passed, to the point where I became curious as to what was causing this strange noise. There were no lights at the playground itself, but there were lights mounted to the back of the apartment buildings that illuminated things just enough to where you could see your surroundings. But the trees beyond the fence were pitch black. I got off
If he walks up to this,
the swing set and approached the edge of the playground. The sound continued getting louder, even as I got up right to the fence. It wasn't until I let out
Look at him smiling. Big smile on his face. You're going to get eaten. Or snatched.
a curious hello that the noise ceased. I stood there staring into the dark trees, waiting for a response, but all remained silent. After about another minute passed, I innocently asked, "Why are you chopping down trees in the dark?" I then heard a shuffling from within the trees, and soon I saw a dark figure come into view, but did not step out from the tree line. What happened next is something that still makes me want to vomit out my insides. The dark figure then threw something. The object flew over the fence and hit me directly in the chest. I was
Not hitting it in your chest.
knocked backwards, more out of surprise than the actual force of the impact. "Hey, why'd you do that?" I shouted.
I ain't talking to nobody that just pummeled me in my chest. Like, hell no.
But before I could get another word out, I caught a glimpse of what had been thrown at me. A severed human arm was lying on the ground in front of me. I screamed at the top of my lungs and ran back towards the apartments, bawling my eyes out.
Yep.
I stormed into our apartment and
You
sat
better
on the
lock
living
that
room
door.
couch to collect myself. I did think about waking my sick mother and telling her about what happened, but
Not only is your mom sick, you was thinking about bothering her, and then you went outside. Now, what if something would have happened to him? Oh my.
decided against it. To give you some perspective, my mother grew up in Siberia, and she could be quite ruthless at times. Not only would she not be too happy about being woken up, but she most likely wouldn't believe my story. And I probably wouldn't be able to sit down for a week if she found out I left the apartment alone after dark. So I kept this incident to myself. As a child, I understood that what happened was scary, but I had no grasp of the implications. I thought there was a monster in the woods who ate people who came out after dark. Now that I'm an adult, there are some things that I've come to realize. For our remaining time in Belarus, I never saw or heard any kind of investigation regarding a missing person or a mutilated body being discovered, which is nothing out of the ordinary living in Soviet society. The monster in the woods, hiding in the trees that night, was most likely a sadistic madman, dismembering a human body with a hacksaw.
Now
There
with
is
his
one more
chest.
thing that I should mention. For the rest of the time that we lived there, I cannot for the life of me recall ever seeing my friend Sasha again after that night.
Oh, not your friend. We're gonna do a true Home Alone horror story animated.
I'm 30 years old, and this story took place
Is this a man telling a lady story?
when I was 13. My mother was a single mom, and she had to work 2 jobs. She worked at a grocery store in the morning and a bar at night. So I was home alone a lot, but it was okay because I was used to it. I could cook myself some dinner and walk back and forth to school. I was a pretty responsible kid for my age.
She's INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? That's what she is.
One night, I was watching TV while eating ice cream, and someone knocked at the front door. I was wondering who it could be, as my friends never came out this late and my mom would always use
What is up with these kids going out late? Okay, stay inside.
her key to get in. I opened the door, and it was a man standing there.
Okay, I'm so mad with everybody. First of all, why didn't you look through the peephole before you open the door? Or like at least have the little that, I forgot what it is, at the top of the door. The lock thing. So at least like if the person trying to bust in your house, they won't make it.
With his hands in his pockets. I said hello. He replied, "Hello, young lady. Are your parents home?"
Yes.
Stupidly, I said no. My mom isn't home right now. You have to come back tomorrow. He then said with a surprised smile on his face, "Oh, you're all alone, huh?" I said, yeah, I am.
I can tell this person is black. I say.
He replied with, "Okay, young lady. Have a nice night.
Oh no.
Don't get into any trouble." He seemed friendly, but also weird at the same time. He was a little funny looking though. He was balding and had 70s style glasses on, with a mustache and bags under his eyes like he never slept. About 10 minutes passed, and there was another knock at the door. I could answer it, but before I opened the door, something told me to put the chain on.
She had this chain the entire time that I was talking about. Anyways,
I don't know why, but my gut told me to do that.
you should have did that the first
It was
time.
strange because we really didn't use the chain. But I'm glad I did, because as soon as I opened the door, it was pushed open. But abruptly stopped by the chain. Before I could even say or do anything, I looked through the crack of the door to see the same man again.
Oh no.
And he said in a startled voice, oh, hey there. I just wanted to make sure you were okay." As he stuttered.
I'm good.
It was like he knew he failed getting inside the house and tried to play off just any suspicion by speaking quickly and making it seem like he didn't just obviously try coming into the house. I said, "I'm fine, thanks," and I shut the door. At that time, I didn't really understand the situation or the dangers of what just happened. But still, I was a bit freaked out and wanted my mom to come home soon. An hour went by, and I was still thinking about what happened, so I started to watch a movie, trying to keep my mind occupied, when I heard,
"Hey, let me in quick."
Oh my god. The way that I would have got some roach spray and sprayed his ass through that little peephole. Don't do that.
I gotta tell you something.
this was the scariest situation I've ever been in my life. And once again, he was talking through the letterbox. I shouted, "Leave me alone." The letterbox closed. Then the man started banging on the front door, screaming, "Let me in, you little shit," while slamming the front door handle up and down, trying to get in. I just stood back crying, praying he doesn't get in. He eventually gave up and left. My mom came home about 30 minutes later, just to find me crying, and I told her everything that happened. We told the police, but they never found this guy.
Ain't good for nothing.
And I think how grateful I am that I had the feeling to put the chain on the door. I hate to think what that man would have done if he had managed to get in.
Okay. That was a nice little story time. I like that. If you guys want to see more of this, comment down below. If you have any other scary videos you want me to watch, link them down below. Or yeah, tell me which part was your favorite or which story was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.